They say a wedding is supposed to be the happiest day of a girl's life. But for a mother, sometimes it's the day you realize just how cruel the world can be to people who don't come from old money. I stood there, clutching my worn-out purse, staring at the gold-plated seating chart in the middle of the lobby at the Vanderbilt Plaza Hotel. My name wasn't at table 1 with the groom's family. It wasn't at table 2 with the close relatives. I had to run my finger all the way down to the bottom of the list, and then I found it. Elena Martinez, table 42. Table 42 wasn't even on the main map. It was tucked behind a massive pillar, right next to the swinging kitchen doors, but it was the fine print next to my name that made my heart stop. Staff meal. My daughter's future mother-in-law, Victoria Sterling, had decided that on my own daughter's wedding day, I didn't deserve to sit with the guests. She thought I was just a broke nurse, a stain on the perfect image of the Sterling dynasty. She was right about one thing. I am a nurse. But here's what she didn't know. I am the woman who holds her family's reputation in the palm of my hand, and I'm the only person who could shut down this entire luxury hotel with a single phone call. Today, I'm going to tell you how I turned the biggest humiliation of my life into the sweetest revenge you'll ever hear. My name is Elena Martinez. For the past 30 years, I've worked at City General Hospital. I started changing bed sheets on the night shift, working myself to the bone to raise my only daughter, Mia. My husband passed away early, leaving me to fight the world alone. Every dollar I earned went to Mia. Tuition, books, and finally, med school. I never bought myself designer dresses or expensive jewelry. My pride wasn't on my wrist or my finger. It was in Mia's medical degree and the kindness in her heart. When Mia called to tell me she was engaged to Liam Sterling, the heir to the state's largest private hospital network, I was happy, but terrified. Liam was a good kid, but his mother, Victoria Sterling, was a different story. Victoria is the kind of woman who measures human worth in dollar signs. She manages life like a chess game, and in her eyes, I was just a disposable pawn. The wedding day arrived. I walked into the lobby of the Vanderbilt Plaza, smoothing down the simple navy dress I bought at Macy's. I felt invisible amidst the crystal chandeliers and polished marble floors. "Mom!" Mia's voice rang out. I turned to see my daughter running toward me. She hadn't changed into her gown yet. She was still in jeans and a t-shirt, but she looked stressed. "Sweetie, I'm here," I smiled, opening my arms. But Mia took a small step back, her eyes darting around nervously. "Mom, I need to tell you something. Liam's family, Victoria, she changed the seating chart at the last minute." My stomach dropped. I knew it. "Changed it how?" "They moved you to the back," Mia said quickly, her voice trembling. "She said the photographer needed wider angles at the head table, so—" Before I could comfort her, the sharp click of high heels cut through the conversation. "Mia, what are you doing down here? We need you in the bridal suite immediately." Victoria Sterling swept in like a cold storm. She was wearing a champagne silk gown that probably cost more than my car, her hair perfectly coiffed, and her eyes scanned me with undisguised disdain. "Oh, you're here," Victoria said, her tone suggesting she had just spotted a stain on her expensive rug. I straightened my back and looked her in the eye. "Hello, Victoria. The hotel is beautiful. Obviously," she gave a thin smile. "We want everything perfect for Liam. Speaking of which," she turned to Mia, "go on, darling. The hair team is waiting. You don't want to embarrass the family, do you?" Mia looked at me, eyes welling up. "Mom, I'm so sorry." "Go, honey," I said gently. "It's your day. Don't worry about me." The moment the elevator doors closed on Mia, Victoria's fake smile vanished. She stepped into my personal space, the smell of expensive perfume overpowering me. "Listen to me, Elena." She lowered her voice, her words sharp as glass. "I know Mia insisted on having you here, but let's be clear. You do not belong in this circle. The Sterlings have a reputation to maintain." I clenched my fists. I am here for my daughter. Yes, and you can support her from the very back of the room. We don't need your modest circumstances ruining the wedding photos. Do you understand?" Victoria smirked. "Oh, and I arranged a staff meal for you at table 42. I thought it would suit your palate better than foie gras or lobster. No sense in being wasteful." With that, she spun on her heel and walked away, leaving me standing alone in the grand lobby. The humiliation burned like a slap to the face. I remembered the 30-hour shifts. I remembered eating dry toast for dinner so Mia could have tuition money. And now, as my daughter married into the richest family in the state, my sacrifice was treated like trash. I dragged myself toward the ballroom. Table 42 was hidden behind a massive pillar, just like she said, right next to the kitchen service doors. The smell of dish soap and the clatter of plates drowned out the music. "Mrs. Martinez." A young server in a uniform approached me. Her name tag read Jenny. "I'm Jenny from Event Services. They told me you'd be sitting here." I nodded, trying to swallow the lump in my throat. "That's right." Jenny lowered her voice, looked around, and whispered, "I want you to know. The entire staff knows who you are. My little sister was at City General last year, the night of that massive pileup on the highway. You were the nurse who saved her when the doctors were overwhelmed. You stayed by her side all night." I blinked, the memory coming back. That night was hell, but we saved so many lives. Jenny continued, eyes red. "We think the way they're treating you is disgusting. If you need anything at all, just ask. The staff is on your side." Her words were like a small flame warming my freezing heart. And then it clicked. I wasn't just some nameless nurse. I had connections that Victoria Sterling's money couldn't buy. I pulled out my phone and smiled at Jenny. "Actually, Jenny, there is something you can help me with. But first, I need to make a call." I dialed the number. He picked up on the second ring. "Marcus, it's Elena Martinez. Remember that favor you owe me from last year? I think it's time to cash it in." 2 hours later, the ballroom was packed. Sequined gowns, Armani suits, the works. Victoria Sterling was strutting around like a peacock, fake laughing and greeting guests. I sat in my dark corner, watching it all. I heard the whispers, "Is that the bride's mother? The nurse?" And Victoria's loud response, "Yes, unfortunately. But don't worry, I've tucked her away." It was time. The signal started when Jenny and 3 other servers quietly took off their uniform jackets, revealing street clothes underneath. They walked straight through the middle of the ballroom, heading for the exit. "Where are you going?" Victoria shrieked, her voice shrill. "We haven't even served the appetizers." Jenny turned around, head held high. "We quit." Before Victoria could react, a wave of staff followed suit. The bartenders closed the bar. The valets walked off the job. Even the wedding coordinator closed her laptop. What is the meaning of this? Victoria's face turned a deep shade of purple. "You can't just leave. We have a contract." "Actually," a deep voice boomed from the main entrance, "they can." The room went dead silent. All eyes turned to the man walking in. It was Marcus Chen, the CEO of the luxury hotel group that owned the Vanderbilt Plaza. Marcus walked in with an air of absolute authority. Victoria shifted from angry to confused, then tried to put on her charming face. "Mr. Chen, what an honor. There must be some mistake. Your staff is—" "They are following my direct orders." Marcus cut her off, ice in his voice. He turned to address the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but the Vanderbilt Plaza will not be hosting this event today." The ballroom erupted into chaos. Victoria screamed, "Are you insane? Do you know how much we paid? I'll sue you." "Mom!" Mia ran through the crowd to my side, looking pale. "What is happening?" Before I could answer, Marcus spotted me. He smiled warmly and walked briskly toward table 42. "Elena, there you are." The entire room gasped. Victoria looked like she was going to faint. You know each other? Marcus laughed. Know each other? Elena Martinez saved my daughter's life last year. My girl had a rare condition that every top doctor missed. Elena caught it. She stayed awake for 3 nights monitoring her. He turned to me, eyes full of gratitude. I told you then, Elena. Anything you need, anytime. I meant it. Marcus turned back to face Victoria, his voice projecting across the silent room. But more importantly, perhaps Mrs. Sterling hasn't updated her news feed. Elena Martinez isn't just a nurse. She sits on the board of directors for the Chen Medical Charity Foundation, the same foundation that donates millions to your family's hospital network. A collective ooh rippled through the crowd. She what? Victoria stammered. That's right, Marcus continued. And when she called me to tell me you sat her at a staff table at her own daughter's wedding, well, let's just say the Vanderbilt Plaza doesn't serve people with such poor character. Mia looked at me, tears streaming down her face. Mom, I had no idea. I squeezed my daughter's hand. I wanted you to make your own way, Mia. I never wanted to use my connections to influence your life, but I looked around the room, locking eyes with Victoria. I also won't let anyone treat us like garbage. This is ridiculous, Victoria hissed. You're ruining my son's wedding. Oh, I'm not ruining it, I said calmly. I nodded at Marcus. The kitchen door swung open. A brand new, higher-end catering team wheeled in carts of fresh food. The wedding will proceed if Mia and Liam want it to, but under new management, and most importantly, a new seating chart. Liam, the groom who had been standing in stunned silence, finally stepped forward. He looked at his mother, then at me. Mrs. Martinez, I am so sorry. I honestly didn't know my mother did that. He turned to Mia. And I'm sorry I didn't stand up for you and your mom sooner. No more apologies, I said firmly. This is still a celebration. Anyone who wants to stay and support the couple is welcome. But here's the rule. In this room, everyone is equal. No VIP tables. No staff tables. The energy shift was instant. The Sterling family retreated to the corner, humiliated. The other guests breathed a sigh of relief. The reception continued, but the vibe was completely different. It wasn't stiff or pretentious anymore. It was real. Victoria sat silently at table 42, the exact table she had assigned to me, looking defeated. Her husband was frantically making phone calls, probably trying to save their crumbling reputation. Liam pulled me aside. Mom, Elena, he hesitated. I want you to know something. I'm resigning from my administration role at the family hospital. I was surprised. Why, Liam? I want to go to med school. I want to be a doctor like Mia, like you. I want to help people, not manage profits. Seeing you today, I realized what real value looks like. I smiled and patted my son-in-law on the shoulder. I'm proud of you. But the surprises weren't over. Marcus returned, guiding an elegant woman with silver hair toward us. My heart skipped a beat. It was Dr. Evelyn Rhodes, the state health commissioner. Hello, Elena, she said warmly. Sorry I'm late. Victoria and her husband saw the commissioner and practically tripped over themselves, running over to suck up to her. Commissioner Rhodes, what an honor, Victoria gushed. Move, Victoria. Evelyn brushed her off coldly. I'm here to see Elena. She turned to me. I can't make the board meeting next week, so I wanted to tell you in person. We reviewed your community health initiative proposal. We aren't just approving it, we're doubling the funding. The Sterling's jaws hit the floor. Furthermore, Evelyn continued, I'm retiring next year. The governor asked for my recommendation for the next commissioner, and I'm nominating you, Elena. The room went dead quiet again. Victoria whispered weakly, but she's just a nurse. Evelyn whipped around, eyes blazing. Just a nurse? Elena Martinez has done more for healthcare in this state than your entire family has in 50 years. While you were planning galas, she was saving lives. Mia squeezed my hand, whispering, Mom, the future health commissioner? I laughed. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, sweetie, but yes, I have plans. The party ended with Victoria slinking away, stripped of her arrogance. Mia and Liam hugged me tight. Thank you, Mom, Mia said. You're my hero. That night, I stood on the hotel balcony looking out at the city lights. Marcus texted me. My staff can't stop talking about you. You're a legend at the Vanderbilt now. I smiled and typed back. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying someone. It's living your truth and letting them realize how small they really are. The Sterling family tried to put me in a box labeled poor nurse. They didn't know that a person's value isn't determined by where they sit, but by what they do. I didn't need to ruin them. I just needed to stand tall and let the light of the truth expose their ugliness. What do you guys think? Should I have forgiven Victoria, or did she get exactly what she deserved? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts. If you love this story of justice and dignity, please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thanks for listening. And remember, never underestimate someone just because they are humble. You never know who they really are. See you in the next video.